Morning, Justin. Morning, Robin. How you doing, beautiful ladies? Hope you guys are good. Jack, what's going on, brother? Ladies and gentlemen, it feels good to be back, at least over on this channel, that is. It is June 1st, 2024, 7:42 a.m. Welcome to Coffee and Crime with JB Gunner. I'm your host, JB Gunner. A lot of people been wondering where I'm at. I'll let you know a little bit today, but we're going to talk about some of these cases. Real chill stream today. We're going to have some coffee. Talk about Ann Taylor a little bit. Talk about some of this news that's out there and about. It's good to see you guys, though. Definitely good to see you guys. Jack, Robin, Justin, we'll let some more people come in, and then we'll kick things off. I will say this. I've been getting emails and people asking me a lot from this channel. Did I forget about this channel? The answer is no. I do run a lot of channels, though, and it's just kind of the way it works. And when it comes to the true crime thing, a lot of I didn't want to be repetitive. And to be perfectly honest, a lot of people were covering the hearings. And so, you didn't need another motherfucker doing it, right? Now, there's not the same thing as the trial. When it comes to the trial, I'm going to cover it. I don't give a fuck who's covering it, right? The trial will be way different. But a lot of these other cases, I didn't feel like I wasn't attached to, like the Daybell case, I wasn't attached to. Things like that I wasn't attached to. So I really didn't have a whole lot to say. Now, I do have an update on that, which many of you guys already know, that update, because I know you guys follow these true crime stories constantly. But I hope you guys have all been good, man. I hope you guys are having a good Saturday morning. I know a lot of people are sleeping in today. They probably had a good Friday night. Just got done watching Horse's video. It was definitely excellent. A lot of things going on, man. I think we found out when it comes to the Idaho 4. I think we found out that they are hiding things. In my opinion, there is corruption. Because why else, when you know that this is the biggest case to ever happen, to ever exist in Moscow, Idaho, whenever you know this is the biggest case to ever happen to Moscow, Idaho, why would you fuck up evidence? Why would you fuck up evidence? I don't quite get it. Sorry, let me respond to that real quick. I don't understand why people would fuck this up when all eyes are on them. The only way they would fuck it up is if they did so intentionally. So and Ann Taylor's been tearing them up. Now, I recently just released a video. The video was my apology. Because I came out and I said, Ann Taylor is just a public defender. Ann Taylor can't possibly have Bryan Kohberger's interest at heart, and I was completely wrong. Because anybody that's been watching these hearings can see how good Ann Taylor's actually done. Like I said, I'm someone that's dealt with public defenders a lot, and I've never had a public defender put up forth the effort that Ann Taylor, I've never even seen a public defender do it. So Ann Taylor, there's no doubt about it in my mind. It is about the money, but also it's about her profile once this case is done. So I think when we're talking about Ann Taylor, I think that when you mix in that agenda, then it makes sense why she's doing so good. She's been tearing the entire prosecution up for weeks, months actually, every single hearing that they've had. I've seen Ann Taylor get loud and aggressive and declare Bryan Kohberger's innocence, flat out declare that the prosecution and the state were trying to railroad him and hide things from him, and then it was proven. Then they admitted it. They admitted that there's things that they've had in their possession. And they're going to act like, well, we just found it, and so we just sent it. They still don't have the DNA details. They still don't have the DNA details. They still don't have any of that. Hey, what's going on, Doydrop? Ben, Win, I hope you're doing good. Said, finally, we missed you covering this case. When it comes to the case, I've just been waiting on things to happen. You know what I mean? And a lot of the other true crime cases that people have been talking about, I don't have a lot of interest in. And listen, when we're talking about Sebastian Rogers, I don't have a lot of interest in that case. In my opinion, and I know this is going to hurt some people's feelings, in my opinion, more than likely, okay, I'm just going to call it like I said, he just tarred it out in the middle of the night and walked away. Or went somewhere and he's dead somewhere. If you really want to know my truth on Sebastian Rogers, that's what I think he did. I think he just tarred it out in the middle of the night. It could have been kids calling him out, whatever. I do not think the parents are involved in the Sebastian Rogers case. I just don't, or the step-parent. So that's why I've kind of, veered away from discussing that case. Let me give a shout out real quick. Big shout out real quick to Amy, the beautiful Amy. She sent $100. She said, good morning, handsome. Good morning, beautiful. Hope you're doing well. Said, I don't want the true crime because they all suck. You should do little updates. Yeah, 100%. Little updates I think is good, just a mom. Thank you very much, Amy. Thank you very much. The reality of this is, I'm going to try to do more updates, at least one a day here, and maybe a coffee and crime, like one of these, hour-long live streams, because I still got to handle my other channels. But I don't want to just let this channel rot until the Kohberger trial. You know what I mean? There's just not a lot of other things going on. There's a lot of cases I've covered in the past, so when Leilani Simon has her trial, I'm going to cover it. No question. When the Delphi case goes to trial, I'm going to cover it. When the Kohberger case goes to trial, I'm going to cover it. But a lot of people, in my opinion, are making big deals and making cases bigger than they are. And then there's some cases that get solved on its own. For instance, the 2 moms in Oklahoma. That shit got solved so quick. They arrested that group. There's no reason to cover that case. They've already been arrested, and one of the motherfuckers has basically confessed. I think a couple of them have. What more is there to cover on it? There's no more mystery. There's no more mystery. You see what I'm saying? It's already there. It's already done. So there are some cases, though, that I think require attention. And I still think I bring a different perspective than most people in true crime. And I think, but this Kohberger thing, I'm ready for it to go to trial. It's fucking getting boring. It is getting annoying. I'm so tired of hearing people run through the same goddamn theories over and over. Jack says, the athletic effort of the DA in the Chad Dumbbell case was heroic but futile. The case of BK is just a game of strategy of discovering what the prosecution has and the alibi doesn't fit. Yeah. And I will say this about the dumbbell case. I never covered it much to begin with. It's kind of like the Alex Murdaugh case. A lot of those cases started before I started covering true crime. And what I don't like to do, or even if I did cover true crime, I didn't cover that case in particular. So what I don't like to do is start a case late. Do you see what I'm saying? So like with the Daybell case, it makes no sense when everybody else has covered it in its entirety for some new motherfucker to come in and start covering something half-ass. You know what I mean? I typically only cover cases that I covered from the very beginning. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way I choose to do it. And I know some people, they'll jump on whatever's popular for views or for whatever. I don't get paid by views, man. I get paid just like the way I just did. Amy hit the tip jar. So I appreciate her. The views don't matter to me. Subs don't matter to me. Never has, never will. But what does matter to me is when I'm here is to not sound like a goddamn fool. And so a lot of those cases I would sound like a fool on, except for this one. Cases like this one, no, I've covered it extensively since the beginning. So, you know, I've read almost everything there is to read. I've studied everything there is to study. What's up, MB? You know, now we're just waiting on the action. But I will say this, the trial, the hearings is showing us, the core hearings that we're seeing is showing us how trial's gonna go. I have not seen the prosecution look strong at all. Not in a single trial throughout this. The dumbbell case would have been too heartbreaking to watch. I just watched the final defense attorney in action, and he out in a true sweat in his job today. Yeah. So with Daybell was found guilty, right? And hold on just a second. So Daybell was found guilty on all counts, I believe. And I believe he's facing the death penalty. Is that accurate?
So, and the breaking news that Bernard and I were talking about just before
I believe that's
break,
the case.
It just came in from Idaho, is the verdict in that triple murder trial, the Chad Daybell case. Guilty across the board. We heard it live. We watched it live here on News Nation Now. And let's get live to Boise. News Nation's Alex Capriello has been covering all
this. What's up, Mandy? How you doing, beautiful?
You're in the courtroom, right, Alex?
Yeah, I was sitting right there as the unanimous guilty verdicts came in. I don't know if you can hear right behind me. Those were appeared to be shouts of joy and celebration. It really feels as if this whole courtroom was filled with, you know, victims and victims advocates, law enforcement, and people that were there to testify. It really felt one-sided in that regard. Not much support for Chad Daybell, although I did see at least one of Chad Daybell's children that was inside the courtroom today. But when that unanimous guilty verdict came down, not much emotion shown on Chad Daybell's face. He stood at attention, kept his eyes, straight ahead to the judge, and really not much that you could discern from his face. But obviously,
let me ask you, to the people that's in here, is there anybody that disagrees with that verdict, the Daybell case? I'll just say this: I don't have a perspective on it. This is one case, like I said, I don't have a perspective on it. Is there anybody here? All right, let me. All right, guilty or not guilty, or do you even know the case? I assume most of you guys follow all the true crime cases, but do you guys agree with the Daybell verdict? Yes or no?
A lot of joy coming.
Obviously, he was found guilty. Absolutely not. I completely agree with the verdict. Says Grizzly. Jack says guilty.
And where, Alex, do we go
Daybell's guilty
from here? There's a death penalty case, right? So sentencing is when?
So obviously he should get the death penalty in this, right?
Right, so sentencing will happen.
Guilty,
next.
says Tracy.
It's going to be almost a whole nother trial where they could potentially bring in other witnesses and other people that could testify, victims and family members who can make their case and plea one way or the other why they believe.
Do you guys think they'll give him the death penalty?
And
I believe he's guilty, says Amy.
Whether or not it goes to that,
what's going on, beautiful? Yeah, see, this is one of those cases I wish I would have covered from the start. Janet says guilty, no death penalty. This is one, because you know when you like go here, like for instance, when you go to Idaho cases of interest, I did not follow, so I don't want to say exactly. Like, it's so funny because, you know, when I'm doing the Kohberger cases right here and looking at all their entries, clearly right under it is the Chad Daybell case. But here's the thing, is this has been so long. I don't think I started this channel till November of 22. No, it was November, 22. I started this channel like a week before the Idaho 4. Now, I did do some true crime on my regular news channel, but I never did the Daybell case. Because this goes all the way back to November 21. That's why I'm kind of ignorant on it, and I know that's why I've never done a video on it. You know what I'm saying? Amy says he believes he's guilty. And you're probably, by the way, thank you, Amy. I don't know if it was, thank you very much. Very much. Crystal said he should get the death penalty. My actual feelings were redacted by YouTube. Lori Vallow got off death penalty due to, well, here's the thing. If Lori Vallow, now what I do know is that this is the husband and wife, right? If Lori got off the death penalty, then he needs to get off the death penalty. That's just my take, though. I don't feel like, I feel like these are both parents that were involved, correct? I mentioned a wood chipper. Yeah, that'll do it. They took death penalty off the table for Lori, and she was complicit with doing that to her kids. So if he gets the death, yeah, no, exactly. If she got off the death penalty, he needs to get off the death penalty. I'm not cool with that, especially if we're talking about parents. If two parents are look, man, I'm not cool with letting one off and not the other, especially because most of the time it's going to be the woman that gets off. You know what I'm saying? Giggity. In my opinion, I just don't, I mean, look, I believe in the death penalty. So those are Lori's kids, not Chad's. I'm even more for it. But I will just say this, as once again, this is a case I'm ignorant on, the Ballo case. Definitely ignorant on it. That's what, like I said, that's why I do not typically talk about it at all.
The prosecution,
but it sounds like most people believe they're guilty.
The death penalty.
So
Thanks so much for watching.
So I don't know. I don't know. At the end of the day, I think that I agree, JB, got to be equal but yeah, it's got to be. I understand, they want people to turn on each other and shit like that. I understand I understand all of that. I understand the way it is in court. People make deals, shit like that. I don't know if they did much of that in this case or if they flipped on each other. I don't know what the fuck happened. But just in general, if we're talking about a murder, just to be murderers, whatever the fuck, in my opinion, anything along that line, all parties involved should face the same punishment. That's just my take on it. If me and Crystal in the chat room decide we're out hanging out, we're drinking, we're doing whatever, and we decide we're going to kill a motherfucker, I believe everybody should be involved. It's just a lot of strange Mormon apocalyptic crap. Yeah, I heard about that. They were like the doomsday parents, right? Death penalty removed for Daybell. Lori due to sanction of late discovery. They both guilty as fuck. There you go. And once again, I didn't follow the case at all. But what I did, you hear the buzzwords like doomsday cult and shit like that, which I think that was also part of the reason I didn't get involved, because whenever people throw them words around, I just automatically assume it's bullshit. Crystal says, I agree, they both did it. Yes, she is worse, but they both did it. Yeah, no question. No question. Lori also has an ex-husband who was murdered. She is a black, oh man. Yeah, she didn't get the death penalty either, Chad. But I don't know, man. I feel like they should. They should, but this case is MB says this case is so convoluted with the sheeple who saw the strange things happening, I'm not saying a thing, and roping Lori's brother, Alex, in as well, and he conveniently dies. Yeah, that's wild. That is wild. I mean, yeah, there's going to be a lot of things. Look, there's going to be a lot of people that see shit and don't say a word. But I'm also going to tell you, I'm that same way, though. If I see, look, I know that a lot of people aren't going to like this, but I'm not a Karen motherfucker. If I'm looking out my window right now and I see my neighbor kill his wife, I'm just going to close the blinds and walk on about my, I don't know them motherfuckers. Sorry, I know that I'm not involved. It's not my business. That's just me. So when people say people saw weird shit and they didn't say anything, first of all, you're just talking about them seeing weird shit. The example I just gave you was actually seeing a murder, and I still wouldn't say shit. That's just me, though. I'm not letting you tie me up in court as a witness and put me through all that shit. It's none of my goddamn business at all. At all. Now, it's different if you kid, like if somebody I know and shit like that. That's different. But yeah, nah, man. I'm one of them people. I was just doing a story the other day where there was actually it's here in Florida. There was a black dude that was beating his chick. and somebody tried to intervene to protect the chick. And what happened is, obviously the chick wasn't playing that way. She's going to stay with her man. But the black dude ended up killing the dude that got involved in the business that's not his. And there was part of me that understood that. There's part of me that kind of cheered that on. Because I do feel like that. I mean, stay the fuck out of people's business. So I know a lot of people are like, see something, say something. I ain't one of those people, man. I ain't one of those people. I understand how dangerous that shit could be. But that's just me. That's just me. So I don't know what people saw in the Daybell case and what they didn't see at all. So let's go ahead and get into the Kohberger situation for a while, because I do want to say, as I stated in my previous, Alex, his wife, church people who claim to be their friends, they should have said something to who? Alex, his wife. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, I understand that claim to be their friends. I get out. You know what? I don't know a lot of the parties involved that you're talking about. So let me just kind of back up. All I will tell you is from my experience, getting involved in business that's not yours tends to be an issue. So I understand there's a lot of people peeking out the windows and shit, trying to find some shit so they can tell on a motherfucker. I'm just not one of those people. And I'm just not one of those people. But that's more of a convenience thing or an inconvenience thing. I'm very much private myself, so when I see other people do shit, I just stay out their fucking business. But I grew up to do that. I grew up to be like that. You gotta remember, I grew up in Chicago. There was a lot of things I saw. And if you would have opened your fucking mouth, you know, go ahead, go to Chicago, tell it on people. See what the fuck happens. I totally understand, JB, this case was messy and the people involved is a long list to keep. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I just grew up in a different, so like when I see some, like there are some things that I think I would say something about. Like there are certain things I think, like if I was looking out my window, okay, you were kind of right. Because if I was looking out my window and I saw someone molesting a child, I would say something. So, but that's also someone that's helpless. So, or harming a child or something like that. Yeah, I guess you're right. You know, I guess you're right. So it's not like an absolute, don't say shit, don't get involved. That's not an absolute with me. Everybody's got their line though, not to cross. And what do they do cross? Shit like that. But guys, Ann Taylor's been kicking ass. And like I said, we'll be here for about an hour. Well, probably another 40 minutes. Good morning, Aquarius. How you been doing? Hope you're doing real well. Crystal says only the defenseless, elderly, children are disabled. Yeah. I learned like if I see two adults fighting, I don't care if it's a domestic situation, especially if it's a domestic situation. I'm not getting involved. I'll never get involved. I don't give a damn if I'm seeing a dude beat the brakes off his broad. I'm never getting involved. Because it's pointless. The chick's gonna be back with him. All of that shit's gonna maintain. Yeah, I'm not getting involved. That's just kind of my thing. What about porch pirates? Hold on, let me stop this commercial. When it comes to porch pirates, well, what do you mean? What do you mean? Like, how could I get involved? If I saw somebody, first of all, well, no, I don't think I would get involved because I don't know my neighbors like that. So I wouldn't know who was taking the shit off the porch, whether it was my neighbors or not. It's 2024. Most of us don't even know our neighbors. And what's up, James? In a normal small town neighborhood where you know your neighbors, I'd say something. I'd say something. But I think in most of the situations, like where I'm at now, I'm new to the neighborhood. I wouldn't know if a motherfucker was porch pirating or not. I wouldn't fuck around and be like, hey, what are you doing? And they're like, motherfucker, I live here. You know, I ain't got time to guess that kind of shit. I ain't got time to guess that kind of shit at all. Not at all. So it's just going to get crazy here real soon, brother. Yeah, that's true. That is definitely true. We'll be talking about that on the, I assume we're talking about politics. We'll talk about that on the JB Gunner show later. All right, so I got to give Aaron Taylor some credit, man. She's been kicking a lot of ass. And just to kind of catch up, on some things and talk about it, Kathy Rue says, I think what you said earlier is right. Ann Taylor is making a name for herself because the evidence is just not there. Yeah, the evidence has never been there. The evidence has never been there. But my issue where I've changed is that I thought, just because I don't have a lot of faith in public defenders. Because most public defenders are just going through the motions for the state. I figured Ann Taylor would be the exact same. Ann Taylor's proven herself to me. She's got a little bit more oomph than your average public defender. Said, how are some of these comments being removed? I'm not using bad language. Crystal, let me explain. Listen, the way YouTube works, and some of them may not be. You have to make sure your thing is on all messages. But the way YouTube works, man, is sometimes the algorithm will just remove your statement no matter what. It may have been they misinterpreted what you were saying. What's up, Tonka? How you doing? I'm just being honest, man. YouTube is weird. It's election year, man. YouTube is going to do a lot of censoring. That's why I've been so careful on my other shit. Jack says, Kohberger is going to get grilled in the box. The case of Valentini at a defense just the same as BK. I can picture BK on the stand. I wouldn't. Why would you? Do you think BK is not going on the stand? Crystal says it has to be a real person reviewing. They aren't posting my comment. No, it's not a real person reviewing. Yeah, it's kind of weird. And this is not. I love you, Crystal. You're great. You're great. It's really strange to see so many people like that spend their a lot of time on YouTube, and they still don't get it. Like earlier when I did my premiere video, every single time I do a premiere video, you got one half retarded motherfucker that's like, so glad to finally catch you live. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? How do you not know the difference? Live, I'm literally right here responding to the chat. You see me, you see the goddamn chat. I don't understand that. It literally says premiering or live. But you would, after all this time, for people to not understand those things? Yeah, BKA will never go on stand, agreed. Like, it's weird. I'm like, how long you been watching YouTube, motherfucker? You still don't know the difference between premieres and lives yet? And James said, sorry to ask, but when are you doing a political stream today? 11 a.m., brother. Yeah, man. I've been doing videos all over the place. I've been doing streams all the time. But yeah, 11 a.m., bro, on the JB Gunner Show channel. 11 a.m. But anyways, so no, it's always been funny to me, man. Now I get it, you got some people that are just old and they don't know it. But no, it's wild to me. And the same thing goes with the comments. You'd be surprised how many comments I get that says, JB, why are you deleting my comments? I'm like, motherfucker, I don't know you. What makes you think I know you enough to delete your comments and shit? Been working all week, just got home, no problem, James. Kathy Rue says, what do you think when Judge said Kohberger instead of Kohberger? Freudian slip, to be honest. I mean, I don't know, man. Maybe, okay? Maybe the judge watches shit like this. You would have to think he would have to, right? Maybe John Judge in his spare time watches YouTube videos. So maybe John Judge in his head, he's seen some of the clowns videos or Harsh, or even mine, where Kohberger was mentioned. So or it could have just been a mistake. Pain Angel, what's going on? Says pain awarded for other people doing the work. Yeah, no shit. If anybody saw pain on the stage, you know what? Payne, am I the only one surprised that Payne sounded so like ignorant on the stage? Like, I feel like Payne didn't have any answers. Ann did chew him up. Remember, Payne is the whole lead on the case. But he sounded, when he was on, I think you've never deleted comments. Changed my name, by the way. That's what's up, brother. If he does, he's got worse ADD than the class of kindergarten. He doesn't understand anything. No, agreed. Payne was an awful witness, just like MB just said. I can't be the only one surprised by this. I thought Payne would be the best witness for the defense. I thought Payne, as the man that runs the whole fucking investigation, when I was watching that hearing, and they said, when they called their witness and they said Brett Payne, I was like, oh shit, here it goes. My jaw dropped. I was like, uh-oh. Because I expected Payne to come in and knock it out the park. I swear to God I did. I swear to God I did. He's the guy with all the info. Oh, how the tables are turned. Yeah. I think Payne had been coached to be vague unless, yeah, that's definitely possible. Yeah, the cop from last week was horrible. The cop from last week came out here and basically admitted that they're hiding evidence. And then Payne came out here and sounded even dumber. Well, as dumb. In my opinion, anybody that's, first of all, a lot of people probably aren't watching these trials. You and I are, because we're into this. But your average normie isn't going to see all this different shit. A lot of these people are just going to watch trials when news hits the, news. I thought Payne would be prepared. I thought he'd be way prepared. I just don't feel like he was. What's up, Sue? Payne is really dumb. He doesn't have a clue what is going on. No, I agree. I agree. And that is why I am more confident right now that Bryan Kohberger is going to win this case. And I'm saying that whether he did it or didn't do it. I don't believe Bryan Kohberger did it. And I've always believed they didn't have enough to win the case. But the reality of this is, if Brett Payne sounds like that at trial, Kohberger's winning. And I still believe at this point, there's enough mistakes made where Kohberger is probably going to get off on a technicality, whether he did it or not. Berlin says, I don't remember, don't know, I don't find. No, exactly. Angel says he knew nothing. If that was my lead, nothing would go past me. I'd want all the details and I'd be, no, exactly. Has anybody here ever managed a business or anything? The buck stops with you, man. You're in control, you're in charge. If I'm the general manager of a company, I'm in charge of the company. When that owner has a problem with the company, I can't be like, hey man, I don't know what happened. He's gonna be like, what do you mean you don't know? You're the fucking general manager of this shit. And to me, that's what a lead detective is. The general manager of this fucking business, of this entire case. He kept trying to refer to his title as something other than lead investigator. No, that's exactly what he was doing. Any idea why change of job title would need to be mentioned? Stood out to me. In my opinion, it's to push off response. Okay. To push off, I guess I would want to say responsibility, or that's not the right word. Responsibility for the actions of his department. If he knows, so the answer to that question is, if he knows that there's some funny shit going on, he knows that he's the guy at the top of that fucking pyramid. And what he's trying to do by alter his title and alter the way people look at him is so he can just put his hands up like, that wasn't me. That wasn't me. It's not my responsibility. So I think that's what it's going to be. I think that's the reason he's doing it. But also at the same time, I do think this case is the highlight of his career. Oh, and they blamed each other for where, when, how. Yeah, of course. Nobody seems to know the names of the FBI agents. Nobody seems to know how to get a hold of the FBI agents, to get the evidence from the FBI agents. How in the fuck does Payne not know how to get any of the missing evidence or anything? How in the fuck does Payne, who's the lead investigator, the lead detective, the lead of this whole thing, how does he not know every single intricate detail? Why does he keep passing the buck off to other people? Which is what, in my opinion, he did during that whole hearing. Each of these people kept pushing the blame off on other people. If you go back to the tapes to the cop last week, they're all trying to distance themselves from the evidence. Exactly. Exactly. Sy basically said they fucked up when they did the triangulation. He said their data is incorrect. No, that's 100% true. Sy Ray came out and said that the evidence that they have is completely 100% exculpatory. Where have we heard that before? So, throughout this entire case, we've heard about exculpatory evidence. We can go all the way back to initially with Dylan and shit like, and Dylan and Bethany. The defense wanted them to testify because they believe that they have information that is exculpatory. Why would they just throw that out there and say that? And now Sy Ray is saying that the prosecution is withholding information that is exculpatory. What's up, Lisa? What's up? They didn't even examine Sy. Exactly, not a single question. And here's the thing. To all the people that hate 18% found, 82% yet to be reviewed, that's wild, man. That's wild. He said Kohberger needs to prepare a valid alibi, which I do think he needs. Well, here's what I think what I think will happen. I have a feeling Sy Ray is going to put his phone somewhere else. DNA can be explained easily because it's not a good science. Look, man, right now this glass has my touch DNA on it. If I walk out of this room and that glass goes missing or whatever, maybe I sell it to somebody or whatever, my touch DNA could still be on here for up to 6 weeks. It's not an exact science. Touch DNA is a very weak science. It's not real. What it means, all the touch DNA means is Bryan Kohberger may have, because it doesn't even mean he touched it, may have touched that night sheath at some point in the last 4 to 6 weeks prior to the murders. According to Ann, Bryan was never in Idaho during the time of crime. Exactly. And see, what you get is all the guilt. They're saying, well, he must have took his phone to the forest and just left it there. These same people, you can pick up touch DNA at the grocery store. Exactly. What's up, Wendy? My thing is this. Everybody seems to be twisting and moving the goalposts. Yo, Ross sent 25. Thank you, brother. I assume it's a dude. Thank you, Ross. Appreciate you, man. Here's my take on the DNA thing. Here's my take on this. Because it's not absolute, then it has to be questioned. Now, is it a very bad thing that his DNA was on this under the body? But if it's not definitive, that it means he touched it. If the FBI, 19 pick of touch DNA suggests it probably came from a glove, likely left forearm. Yes, I practiced. Here's my problem, is this man is facing a death penalty. Is there any definitive evidence? Touch DNA is iffy, right? When it comes to the phone pings, it's a 27 square mile radius when it comes to phone pings in that exact area. That's not exact either. And then Sy Ray is coming in and saying, WB, what's going on? He sent $10. Thank you, brother. Or ma'am, or whichever one. Thank you. Thank you, WB. Appreciate you. Very much so. if the phone pings and the phone evidence is disputed, if it's disputed, and it's not an exact science either, how can you definitively put him in the scene when it was up critical thinking, when the FBI initially said it is a 2011 or 2011 to 2013 vehicle, and then we find out later there's a 2015. How do you mess that up? Like the FBI doesn't know how to definitively make that analyze the situation. Maybe he put gloves on after touching the sheep. Maybe. I think the reason the prosecution keeps getting away with saying we can't get what we don't have is because Jay isn't asking a simple question. Have you asked for it? Yes, very true. Crystal makes a good point. Whoever killed those kids never went into Bryan's vehicle after the murder. Berlin says reverse engineering, and I think that's exactly what we have here. Here's what I think we have. I think we have a situation where they struggled a lot with finding a suspect. And I'm going to say this, and there's going to be people, of course, that disagree. We are almost to the winter, the January semester at that school. At this point in time, December, we're almost to the next semester. The heat is on. Nobody wants to go to the University of Moscow because nobody knows if the killer's still loose. This university is 50% of the revenue that this state, of the entire city, this town's economy. So when you're looking at it and you're saying to yourself, okay, our town will die if people don't come to this college. So I think we have a situation where your lead detective is likely to. Oh no, I'm not rolling that way. I'm not rolling that way. But hey, I guess any guess is as good as another one. But what I am saying, sorry, you threw me off with that one. But anyway, when it comes to this, your town, you're in the fourth quarter. Said I laughed out loud when Payne said he relied on the best for help. Who was Maori, who did not have enough? No, exactly. Neither one of them are very experienced. But once again, shall I bet you a steak dinner that the cop did it? Deal. I'll just say deal. That's actually pretty funny. But anyways, so it's the fourth quarter. The town is about to lose it. The town's about to lose everything that they have. And so at the end of the day, they had to come up with a suspect. It's a deal. They had to come up with a suspect. Stop making me laugh, bro. They had to come up with a suspect, 100%. And so what I think they did is started reverse engineering evidence. So the FBI, and is, by the way, in footage that nobody has, bring up this Elantra. They can't find the Elantra. A lot of these places, if you listen to it, their camera footage was somehow erased and not there. Exactly, bred to kill. And so they have to come up with something. And so I think what they did is the white Elantra, the white car, and then they went out there. And so basically somebody at that school was like, "Hey, I know somebody with a car." And so what they did is they used that and reverse engineered from the car. I do believe it all started with the car. I do believe it started completely from the car. And so then what they had to do is finish the story. What about Gonsalves for family posting on Facebook that Ann should shut the fuck up, that she's a clown? Yeah, all that does is show their own. You know what? It shows that I didn't know they had posted about that, Berlin. But I will say this. I think it's fucking stupid for the Gonsalves family to do that. But I've always thought they were stupid. I've always thought Mama Gonsalves was a fucking complete dense bitch. I've always thought that. And then when it comes down to Steve Gonsalves, I've always thought he was he's one of those people that talks before he thinks. The reality of this shit is their kid was fucking murdered. They should want the truth to come out. What do they mean Ann needs to shut the fuck up? What does that mean? What's up, Ginger and Hellcat, Mercy Cat, Teresa? Annie says, JB, okay, then you were not buying that FBI was telling them, what the FBI was telling them. And connected in Etsy small town in Colorado. FBI was tailing him because he was maybe a drug runner for it. I don't know. I don't believe the FBI was trailing him, actually. But I guess it's possible. Christy Mama said about snapping Ann's neck. Yeah, she's a dumb bitch. And look, anybody that's ever seen Christy speak, you can tell she's literally a dummy. They're overly emotional, which I think all parents would be. I'm not blaming them. But here's the truth. They need to sit back and let them find who killed their daughter. Because what if they're wrong? What if Gonsalves is wrong? What if the prosecution's wrong? What if the state of Idaho is wrong? What if Kohberger's not the guy? It's stupid for a family to be sitting here attacking the defense in a case where there's a gag order. And it's just, this is stupid. And it makes them look foolish. Just think about what they're saying. They want Ann to shut up because Ann knows how they were involved. Wow, now they can solve it. God damn. Critical thinking Cap, I like you, but you're a goober, man. You're a straight up goober. This motherfucker said that the cop killed him and Gonsalves are involved. Peace Loan. It's definitely a shit show. It's amazing how Payne was so forgetful. Exactly. Don't like them at all. Not at all. Not at all. Yvette says the G's act like there's so many things they don't know when they could just simply ask. I agree. I 100% agree. I just think it's foolish for the Gonsalves or anybody to sit here and attack the prosecutor. G family been covering from jump. Just look at their. Why would they cover up for the people that you believe murdered their daughter, though? Bro. I understand believing there's a conspiracy here, because I do believe that. But that's a wild one. What do you think? Who do you think Kaylee's linking in? What do you mean, who do I think Kaylee's linking in? What's up, Nikki D? Nikki D saying 5. Thank you. What's up, Time Traveler? Appreciate you. Appreciate you guys. That's awesome. 5. SG deleted her LinkedIn. How do you know he deleted her LinkedIn? Yeah. Exactly, Tonka. In the beginning, it was skeptical. How do you know he deleted her LinkedIn? Because her LinkedIn's deleted? You do know that when you die, a lot of times the social media sites shut it down. You do understand. There's a good chance that the FBI got these kids' social medias taken down or deleted, or that the social media platforms themselves did it. It is too early for this shit. It is. Luckily, I brought 2 cups of coffee over here for this. Kaylee's LinkedIn was removed within 12 hours. Are you sure? Like, did you have the link? Were you following her LinkedIn? It could be possible. The family needs to just wait. I agree they want justice. Yeah, that's exactly what I think it is, Sue. I think they want justice. I do. But I would want the right person, not just grab whoever to make. Yeah, I agree. It said it's called cross-contamination. Yep. Usually after someone dies, I think counts are deleted. That's exactly what it is. It said this critical is Miss Annie Potts. Oh, you're Annie Potts or the critical thinker's Annie Thoughts? 100% sure her sister is the one who called the cops out on it, and cops said it wasn't them. It's illegal for them to. What do you mean? When did that happen? When did the conversation between her sister and the cops happen that was public to us? I said her sister claimed in an interview because she was logged in and when it disappeared suddenly. Oh, okay. Then it was probably okay. Annie Potts, how did you find out about LinkedIn? Oh, critical is Annie Potts. Good to see you, Annie. Ain't seen you in a while. Annie's always been. I'm glad I don't know it's you though. Happened literally within the first week, Jamie. So you think Steve? Are you telling me you think Steve Gonsalves had something to do with the murder of Kaylee Gonsalves? Was early on. Yeah, I remember it now, actually. I remember. It's just one of those little details that doesn't stick in my head. I'm a fun little bitch. I know. I'm glad I know it's you, though. I'm glad I know it's you because there was part of me that was about to call critical thinking cap a complete tard. But now that I know it's you, I would never say that. I think Steve is covering for Kaylee's involvement. Okay, that makes sense. So you're saying like drug? No, I know she knows her stuff. That's why I said I'm glad I know it's Annie Potts now. So someone needs an oil change, says Elsa. So let me ask you this. That actually makes sense. So you mean some shit like maybe she was involved in, let's say, drugs and Steve knew she was involved, or maybe she was involved. Yeah, I always respect Annie. Or something like that. Maybe OnlyFans, just something that he doesn't want people to know about Kaylee. Is that what you mean? Let me give a shout out to Kathy and Axel. Send $1.69, said, got to make coffee. Kohberger was framed. Thank you, Kathy. Appreciate you. That makes sense. Okay. I can roll with that at least. I don't know, man. I can at least take that into consideration. Blood was all over the place. Yeah, exactly. So with that being the case, that's the fact that blood was all over the place. And I remember because they even said that the smell was crazy when they first walked in. Oh, nope. I mean, she was involved in the crime. You don't have like any alcohol in your coffee or something. Did you just say Kaylee Gonsalves was involved in the murder of Kaylee Gonsalves? In my opinion, cop Sol Fiscus was her for the first month, and not because she was the target. I believe Kay could have been a shooter. Only warrants were for Kaylee. Woosah. Okay, so you think that Payne and Kaylee and Steve murdered Kaylee. And then the rest of them. The first month only. Okay. Hey, everybody's got their theories. And they're welcome to them. Steve said a lot of things that were off the wall, especially for someone just losing their child. At some one point, I thought maybe he and his wife were both on drugs. They might be. Go back to the beginning, JB. See, the cops' focus was. It was only her. Well, my focus was always her. If you go back to my first video on the case, I said she was the target because she was the hot one. I hear you, Wendy. The SWs indicate that is pursuing a financial fraud case involving all victims plus 3 other. Man, there's a lot of different. Okay. At least you guys ain't saying it's the tunnels. At least you guys ain't saying that Dave Batista, what did they say? Dave Batista, the white supremacist wrestler, went under the tunnels after he got done killing motherfuckers in Delphi and went under the tunnels into the house. I'm glad you guys, at least you're not doing that shit. I'll give you that. At least you're not doing that. What was seen in the house to no threat due to others? No, I agree with that. That's a good question. That's a good question. I will say this. I still believe there's a cover-up, no question. I think her coming back to town may have triggered whatever really happened. That's definitely possible. Or she just got caught up in the mix. It has to be one of the two. I initially thought the same too, that she was the main target, but after going back and seeing what cops were focusing on, I think she was a possible perp and planner. I want you to just breathe in with me for just a second. Kaylee, you're saying Kaylee and what was his name? What was it? Cop's name? Payne. So Kaylee, Payne, and Steve plotted the murder of Kaylee. What's up, Christy? Is what you're saying? What's up, Christy? How you doing? Is that what you're saying? I'm struggling right now. I'm struggling with this. Because there's one major flaw in this theory. There's one major flaw. Oh, she said, no, that's not what I'm saying. Okay, I'm just hearing it wrong. I don't know what's going on, Tracy. The 2 roommates are going to get married. Somebody just said the 2 roommates are going to get married so they don't have to testify against each other. What's up, Sean? Oh, man. So let me lay out what we've learned. What's up, Kevin? What we've learned here today from the chat. Kaylee, Payne, and Steve plotted the murder of Kaylee. I'm going to send you my number. It will make sense. I hear you. So Kaylee, Steve, and Payne plotted the murder of Kaylee and then deleted her LinkedIn. And then what did my man say up there? What did my man say up there? Hold on. What was the other one? Oh, and DM and Bethany are going to get married so they don't have to testify. Where does Batista in the tunnels come in? I know it's coming. Good to see Annie. You're not picking up what you're laying down, but who knows that exactly? Yeah, I'm not picking it up either. I don't know what the fuck's going on. But all this happened. I've been gone for a month. Doing my Disney thing, shit, like I won the Super Bowl. But, these are the new theories going around, huh? These are the new theories going around, huh? It's that new shit, huh? All right. So be it. She said, nope, they plotted, but Kaylee wasn't supposed to be there. She went last minute, remember? And even her mom said she debated even going that weekend. She had been home in the weeks prior. So, said Killer Croc in the tunnels, yes. So So, and JS had paint, and Showalter painted his face black over in Africa. Good. Okay, and I'll be back, Robin, don't worry. All right, so let me get this straight. Kids are like, what the fuck you laughing at there, JB? I'm sorry. Marriage makes the partners. Okay, we'll get to the marriage here in a minute. What's up, Don? So, you believe Kaylee, Payne, and Steve planned the murder. And Kaylee accidentally went over there like, oh shit, I forgot y'all were going to kill people, and then got killed? So I've had the same theory for a very long time now, months and months. I've been on Payne since I read the piece. Okay. So, but the theory is, your theory is that Payne, Kaylee, and Steve planned it. And then Kaylee was just a dumb blonde, like, I forgot all about the murder. Now I'm slaughtered. And then Dylan, and then somebody else said Dylan and Bethany looked at each other and was like, we got to get married so we ain't got to testify on this shit. I just want to make sure I'm swimming in the right pool. That's it. I just want to make sure I'm in the right hole. Drop the link. What link? He says, drop the link, I'll explain it. There we go. Oh, I'm not on StreamYard right now. I typically don't use StreamYard. When he says, no. What's up, Holla? Swimming in the right shit. I'm on board with that. And if BK went, yeah. I'll just say this. No, everybody, look, man. Oh, you're a porterhouse if I'm wrong? Yes. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Been married only prevents you from testifying against your spouse. So what the fuck would that help? Yeah. No, I don't think you got it. They said that they're going to marry each other. The person in the chat, Henry says Kohberger is guilty, but there's more to the story. Star witnesses the man in the moon. Yeah. So let me get it. Okay. No, I don't think you guys understood what the other one was saying. The other chatter said that Dylan and Bethany were going to marry each other so they didn't have to testify. Critical thinking cat says, I'm not wrong, though. Just wait and see. Well, I'll be waiting. Dude Morris, what's up? Right, why does the person think marriage is? Well, because what they're saying is that they're going to do a lesbian marriage. I don't think Maddie and Kaylee are as close as the parents said they are. Nah, I don't know about that. They're also in the same sorority. I have not heard the two new theories. I think it's drug deal. I think it's drug related. And he says, I like your shirt and agree. So does my 40-year-old dead nephew, father of two. Oh, exactly. I would say this. Is a testimony loophole why Mormons have so many wives? If I just marry all these hoes, they can never testify. I love it. I'm going to become a Mormon now. When he says, I think the fraternity is suspicious and I think the university is protecting the fraternity, I can agree with that. And the reason why, look, man, Occam's razor. Look, what we know is that night, and we know this because this is what Xana's mother said, that there was an altercation that night. So the rumors of there being a fight or an altercation is true. I'm sorry, but if there's an altercation, if one of the murdered victims gets into a fight that night and then ends up dead, any detective in their right mind that's not named Payne would be looking at the motherfucker that he got in a fight with. I do think people are wired differently. After the show, I will replay that one. Oh, I'm talking about. Search warrants indicate they are pursuing a financial fraud case Could be because they checked all their. No. Are you saying that because they checked everybody's bank accounts? Yeah, the frat boys is a good one. Occam's razor leads you to the sorority house and the band members. I don't know about the band members in the field. Drugs, I'll go with drugs, and I'll go with I will go with the sorority house. Ann Taylor has Payne's text and group messages. Exactly, Angel. I'm just really like. I believe there's a cover-up, but I don't feel like Payne and Gonsalves planned the murder. That's like JFK saying, I planned on assassinating myself. You know, and like that'd be a brand new theory. Do I believe? No, I think Xana's mom's a dope fiend. But wouldn't her dad come out and say, man, I never said that? I don't know. HE coming for Payne's ass. I agree, that's a problem. Yeah, I think it's a problem. I think it definitely could be drug related. It's college kids, man. It's college kids. Yeah, I'm not. I'm listening. What's up, Eve? I'm listening because I like antibots, but in no way am I even 1% buying the theory that Gonsalves, Payne, and Kaylee planned the murders. And then Dylan and Bethany are going to get married so they don't have to testify. I'm not buying none of that shit. Just so we know. I ain't been gone that long. And as you can see right here, I'm on day 5 with no motherfucking drink. I'm not drunk enough to believe that shit. Not even close. Cyril hunts killers for real. He's got his sights on Payne. Enjoyed the show. Maddie's parents are dope heads too. Yeah, I agree. I have a 16-year-old graduate and she's dating a 19-year-old graduate. And the vast difference from the two groups of friends of drug use is huge. Yeah. He thought he could get away with it. Congratulations. Thank you, Wendy. It's for health reasons. I think drinking is great. But I had to lose some weight. I'm also on Ozempic now. My first Ozempic dose was yesterday. Snitching has consequences. That could be. Now that's possible. There could be drugs. After this chat, you'll be tempted. True. But I will say this, what I was just about to say. I do believe it's very possible it could be snitching or drugs. So what is going on? I just said it. I'm trying to lose weight, man. Same reason I got on Ozempic. I'm hiking the Appalachian Trail very, very soon. Drugs and snitches, you know what yeah, exactly, Blue Eye. I'm sorry, I still think Demetrius Robinson is my #1 suspect. Call me racist. Don't give a fuck. Demetrius Robinson is my #1 suspect until he turns white. Sorry. It's possible there was or until somebody points me out a better suspect. He was the drug dealer. They were college kids. There was drugs in the house. They took 8 hours. What's up, G-Mac? It took 8 hours for them to call because they were dumping some shit. I'm sorry. Demetrius Robinson is my guy. He's my suspect. Or the frat boys that he got in a fight with. That's all I'm saying. Now, where my theory is flawed, According to a clever one, you started last week, Ozempic? No, I started Ozempic yesterday at 4:15 p.m. 4:15 was my doctor's appointment. Whatever, though. The rumor mill and speculation, in this case, is working overtime because of all the secrecy, which is why I think AT wants more things to be made public. Yeah, I think so. That's wild, Berlin. I don't think cops cover. I think they're incompetent. Payne was trained to do raids on high-value targets in the military. Yeah, but I'm not buying it, man. The hell with Idaho of JD and JS and those who called 911. Demetrius and the white girl, I believe, was the Uber food driver. That's possible because she used to do Uber, I think. Said someone commented that I was sick from. I don't know what you mean. Why would I remember? What do you mean? Why would I remember? Who commented? What are you saying, Berlin? I don't know what you're saying. Who commented what on Ozempic? I literally just took it yesterday at 4:15. Who ordered Payne and Mary to destroy the work product? Good question. Good question. I agree. I think Emma was driving. I think that's definitely a strong possibility. Major drug bust in Idaho and Washington. There's a continuous investigation going on in the area. Yeah, I don't know about cartel, but there's definitely drugs. Cops are always near parks and college towns. So my take on, what are your thoughts on Brent K? I do think Brent's possible. I do think Brent's a possibility. I definitely think Brent is a possible. But before I go with Brent, before I go with Brent, I personally would go with frat boys, number one. Well, frat boys or Demetrius, or both, combination of both. Just look at the corruption in law enforcement. No, exactly. You can't take the word for it. I think Brent knew MND. It's possible if he was doing drugs. I think this is why I believe Demetrius is heavily involved. The Uber thing was weird. I never saw a warrant for Uber. Yeah, I never saw one either. I never saw a single one. Never saw a single one. Look, man, here's the truth. Also, Occam's razor tells me at the very same time at 4 a.m. in the morning, from what they're saying, we had a Uber Eats delivery, and then the 4 people in the house that delivered to got murdered. There was an Uber Eats delivery, and then the very 4 motherfuckers inside the house where the Uber Eats delivery was delivered to got murdered. How come nobody is even considering the possibility? And this is all, like I said, this is all, or do DoorDash or whatever it was. The DoorDash, not Uber Eats. I guess my point is, so we had a fight at the frat house. Then we had a DoorDash delivery at that very house at the exact same time that the murders were happening. Jack said the last person on the scene before the culprit was the DoorDash driver who was not identified. Yeah. So I guess my question is, the kids are still awake at the same time that the murders happen. There's DoorDash drivers. There's fights at the frat house. Like, I don't understand how Bryan Kohberger jumped the fucking list and somehow is a bigger suspect than these motherfuckers. What's up, Brent? Just to, yes, in car circles to deliver food, 100%. Exactly. How do 4 of the 6 got murdered and don't hear anything? As Crystal says, DoorDash is probably the whole lunchroom. Yeah. Exactly, Angel. No, those were well, maybe. The private driver, yeah. Why would law enforcement and prosecution go to all these antics to potentially be concealing evidence for a DoorDash driver? That's a good point. I guess the question is why don't we know yet who the DoorDash driver is? You see what I'm saying? The DoorDash driver is the one person not identified. The question has to be is why? Why the fuck are we keeping the DoorDash driver secret? Oh, the one person that we know was at the house at 4 fucking o'clock? The very person that we know for an absolute fact was in the house at 4 o'clock. We know everybody else's names, but we don't know the name of the one person, the only person that was definitively there at the time of the murders. Okay, fine, you could say it was a couple minutes before the murders. Exactly, Demetrius definitely makes more sense and more plausible than Batista, yeah. Like, how is the DoorDash driver not number one suspect? Let me tell you something. And I'm going to prove you right. I'm going to prove myself right now. All of you, let's say you live on my block, okay? You get up at 4 a.m. and you decide you're going to run down to the gas station real quick. And you see me walking, we'll say walking the dog. Okay? It's 4 a.m. You wake up. You go outside. You hop in your car. You go down to the gas station. The only person you see is me walking the dog or whatever. You come back from the gas station. And all of a sudden, your front door has been kicked in and your PlayStation 5's gone. And you don't see me anywhere. Who would be the number one suspect for who stole your PlayStation 5? Oh, gee, who could have been around your house at that exact time? The same thing here. And if that DoorDash driver happened to be Emma, then that makes even more sense. But I don't know for sure if that was it. But why are they hiding who it is? How come we don't know? How come the DoorDash, what's up, Paco? How come the DoorDash driver hasn't said shit? Now, where's the DoorDash driver? The DoorDash driver ain't said, hey, man, all these other people were talking and giving interviews, and the DoorDash driver hasn't even said, hey, I didn't see him. Maybe he's a state witness. I don't know. Maybe. They would hide it if Emma was, yeah. Now, if he's going to be a state's witness, which is probably the case, I guess that gives a little bit of a reason. That's a reason why they would hide his identity. What's up, dog lover? That's what I meant to, yeah. I'm sure they checked and completed deliveries I'm sure they checked and completed deliveries right after. I don't know. Did Bethany maybe meet Bryan at Wawawi Park prior to these crimes, and the knife sheath belongs to her, and his DNA was transferred to her? Maybe. It's always been possible that Dylan or Bethany was fucking around. I also feel like it's possible Bryan could have been there at a party and traded or gave away a knife sheath. Anything's possible. They just had 150 people there that Friday. The defense knows who the driver is. That is accurate. They have to know. Event most likely occurred at 4:15, likely 14:56. Was loud zaps and audio and Linda Lane footage. Dog barks. High voltage discharge. Well, some of y'all, boy, caught in Dagos in early March. Fingers bled from typing in. eBay tips BK's election. It's possible. The car was still circling when the crime started. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Blue Eyed says nobody is pushing the Moscow Police Department drug interdiction team, forcing these college kids into being narcs. This would be a mess with whatever. No, I think that would be interesting. But we'll never find out that truth if there was that type of cover-up. We'll never find that out. The murderers ordered DoorDash to throw a wrench in on the timeline. Then who picked up the DoorDash? And who picked up the DoorDash? I guess I do feel like Xana ordered the DoorDash. I genuinely do. Because don't you think the police by now would know what number that DoorDash, what device that DoorDash order came from? So it doesn't make sense to go in the dark front when you have dark woods in the back. 100% doesn't make sense. Yeah, they've missed a lot of crucial things, Brent. You're right. When I'm looking at this, man, I'm thinking to myself, so much of this shit doesn't make sense at all. But what I do know is that the state of Idaho and their police have failed miserably on that stand. Yes, but they didn't know how. Yes, but they don't know how a cell phone even works. True. Was it ordered and in the notes a help message written? I couldn't read. Oh, man. I forgot how much I missed the true crime community. I forgot how much I missed it. After yesterday's hearing, I think PO called BK bluff all along. Remember a photo circulated way back in the very beginning where there was a photo of EB wearing a ball cap? She had it on backwards? Yeah, I believe that completely. Yeah, but just because they look alike, yeah. True crime community is fun. Y'all are some fun motherfuckers. The scene at 8 hours of contamination after the fact. Yes. Thank you. If the phone was unlocked and X wasn't physically on video while using TikTok, then anybody could have ordered the DoorDash. Maybe oh, okay. Yeah, exactly, MB. Sean says they ordered it from her phone and they accepted delivery 8 hours. We will be back tomorrow morning. We're going to continue this conversation tomorrow morning. This has definitely been fun. Thank you to everybody that hit tip jar. Thank you to everybody that didn't. We will be back for Coffee and Crime in the morning. Guys, I did post a video earlier. I just don't understand why DM didn't call 911. Oh, yeah, because they were getting rid of drugs and shit. I also think someone else ordered the change now. We will definitely be here tomorrow. I'm back on this channel. I'm gonna at least start doing these morning coffees with you guys. We do got a bet. Do you think it's possible the Chapin family is covering up for No, no. I don't think any of the families are covering up. I don't think that Steve and Kaylee planned Kaylee's murder. And I don't think the Chapins are, covering up. Yeah, you're beautiful. Thank you, Yvette. I said, oh yeah, I had to get rid of the drugs. And she said, yeah, that's what I think it is. That's what I genuinely think it is. Guys, this has been fun. It's really cool to be back. A JB business degree would be an appropriate education for that position. Yeah. This has been really fun, man. I've enjoyed hanging out with you guys today, man. Tomorrow morning, we will be back. I got to get to my other channels and get to work over there. You guys have been fun. I love y'all. Thank you all. I will see you soon. Feels good to be back with y'all, man. This was good. Wild, but good. Some of y'all need some medicine. Hemisphere says the only connection they got on BK. Shit. It went past me. Anyways, y'all have a good one, man. Great to see you as well, Don. Thank you. Be cool, y'all. I'm out.